Do you have the inside skinny on the finances in your household? Can you find what you need when you really need to, when it counts? My name is Nancy Juetten, and I'm with the Life Goes On Roadmap. And today I'm sharing some powerful truths from the road of life, from the mailbag, to open your eyes about how things aren't always so awesome in paradise. Not everything's working so well out there in personal finance land. And oh boy, are we hearing from folks. We have a Facebook ad running to help people find our Life Goes On Road Trip gift, which is helping people get a jump start on getting their personal finances organized. And about 140 people from across the country have actually written in and told us amazing cautionary tales from the road. And I wanted to share a couple of them with you, because if this isn't a wake-up call about why you need to get ahead of life before it happens to you, then I don't know what is. Debbie Mahoney says, my husband had a stroke 3 years ago, and it was a nightmare for me. He always insisted on paying the bills, and he kept me out of it. Once he was incapacitated, I was on my own to discover who got paid when and how, by check, by auto deduction, etc. In addition, I had no idea what his passwords were. I found the various passwords scribbled down on a piece of paper. Another issue was that I was not on most of the accounts, so it was a huge hassle trying to get cooperation, especially if I wanted to close an account to save money. It was a very stressful time, and so much was unnecessary. Had there been a plan in place, it would have been so much easier to take the stress off my shoulders. It's so important to plan ahead. So here Debbie Mahoney is dealing with a husband who had a stroke, which is a serious issue on its own. And in the midst of that, she's having to manage everything else and not being able to manage it very well because she wasn't empowered, she didn't have access, and she didn't have control. So my question to you is, do you have power, access, and control over your personal finance information? And can you manage it when it counts? Because whatever it is you earn per hour at your job, whatever it is that you earn as a business owner, making your way in the world, how many hours of lost productivity will you suffer if you don't get all this squared away ahead of time? How much easier would Debbie's life be if she just was able to manage and have access, power, and control? So here's another story from the road. Mary Rose Lopez used to be an IRS agent. Listen to this. In my many years as an IRS agent, it taught me many things, especially that any spouse who does not share access to all bank accounts with their spouse is likely hiding something nefarious. She goes on to say, my audits uncovered hidden investment accounts, hidden charge accounts, gambling problems, unknown stepchildren, unknown affairs, unknown addictions, employee embezzlement, and a whole other assortment of stories. Many wives are more than willing to live off the fruits of their husband's labors, but not willing to take the fall once things go south. Many of my audits were all about someone ratting on their ex. Oh my goodness. So when my husband and I were going through the process of getting our personal finances organized, there was this point in the whole exercise where I said to him, now these really are all of my bank accounts. I'm not hiding anything from you, and I'm asking you, are you coming clean on that regard for me too? And he said, yes, of course I am. This is all my accounts. You have access to all of them. If something happens to me, you'll be able to pick up the ball and run. And the same thing with me for you. But my question to you is that the same situation that you are finding in your life too? Wouldn't you rather get ahead of this instead of have your eyes closed and find out later that something is wrong in paradise? You know, it's an interesting thing. As we started working on this project, we thought, the men are paying the bills and the women are just standing by. But that isn't actually what's happening. We're hearing from a lot of women that say that this isn't following quote unquote old-fashioned gender lines. This one woman, Rebecca Boyce, writes, since we got married over 34 years ago, my husband hands me his paycheck and expects me to handle our finances. I keep telling him he needs to know what's what, but he doesn't want to know. Vicky Shapiro Charity writes, I pay all the bills and take care of insurance. But what would happen if I was critically injured or died? I really need to get this organized for my husband and my children. Lori Hacker Green says, I've been married for 43 years and he's never taken care of the finances. I tried to show him, but he's not interested. And Lauren Leach Edwards writes, I'm the household financial manager. My husband has no interest in it at all. However, he does know where I keep all the passwords and information about the accounts. Now that's good. Rosemary Kriegel writes, I can only wish that my husband knew what was going on. After 36 years of handling the funds, I am tired of it. You know, if you've been married for any length of time, you know, married partners divide roles and responsibilities differently. And maybe there's a time in your marriage, and maybe that time is now, where you want to start renegotiating roles and responsibilities. So if you've been handling it for 36 years, maybe it's his turn. And the thing of it is it's really important for both parties to have access, power, and control to all of the accounts. Because if something should happen to one or the other, what then? When you're dealing with these challenges that life has served up, do you also want to be scrambling to figure out who to pay, how to pay them, what you owe, and all those kinds of things? These are the kinds of things we would like to help you get in front of. So my husband, Steve, and I are leading a webinar tomorrow, June 6th, starting at 6 p.m. And we're going to talk about the blind spots that cause couples worry about money matters and how to turn things around to avoid chaos, drama, and trauma, and instead replace that with calm and the opposite of all of that. Anyway, we're very excited about leading this webinar. We think we can change a lot of lives, and we would love for you to join us. And so I'm going to post here a link to how you can join us for the webinar. And you can also get the opportunity to talk to Steve, my husband, who is a certified financial planner professional. And he has been dealing with clients since 2002 who have had all kinds of money situations. They want to plan for their retirement. They want to plan for bar mitzvahs, weddings, all kinds of happy occasions. And they've also been served up challenges along the road of life that cause them to make detours and swerves in the road to deal with what life served up. We're going to be talking about how you can get ahead of these things and why you should. Let's face facts. Most people know that this is something they need to do, but they keep on staying on the procrastination roundabout instead of getting something done about it. And we're asking you to make a date on your calendar to actually dial in and hear why this is so important and why now is the time to get organized. We'd love to have you join us. We'd love to have you invite your friends, because just like you go to see a movie and you tell your friends, boy, that was a great movie, you should see it, or you read a good book and you want to talk about it with your friends, talking about money in the clutch moments is something that really needs to happen. Your kids need to know where your accounts are, your partner, your life partner, your husband, your wife. Get on the same page about how you manage the money. And if it's time to change the way the roles and responsibilities are divided, we'll take the opportunity to tune into this webinar and have it be a wake-up call for both of you. Because for me, when my husband and I did this together, it was like the greatest act of love and service to our marriage. And to me, when my husband said, I want you to have everything you need at your fingertips so you can get in the car and drive if life serves up a bend in the road. I think we all deserve to have someone who has our back, and we need to have the back of the ones we love. And getting ahead of all that seems like a really important, urgent priority. We're waving the flag for it, and we're talking about it on Wednesday, June 6th at 6 p.m. Pacific, and we'd love for you to join us. I promise you will get some aha insights that will start conversations in your family. You may be compelled to do even more about this, and we'd love to show you the way. And we'd also like to have it be fun as you get it done, because we do not take a gloom and doom approach to this. We actually have fun ways of getting it done while you make it fun. And we want you to get that on the agenda as soon as possible. Let's start with the webinar that's coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, June 6th at 6 p.m. I look forward to seeing you there. And I can't wait to see what kind of stories you tell from the road that let me know that having crossed paths in this particular way actually made a really big difference for you in the clutch moments where you really needed to have that power, access, and control. My name is Nancy Juetten. I'm the co-founder of lifegoesonroadmap.com, and I look forward to getting to know you and hearing your stories from the road of life and sharing some insights with you tomorrow night. So we'll see you then, and we'll see you there. Have an awesome day.